Okay, I know you're looking at this and you're saying, what is on his gun right here? What is this grip material right here? Um, Probably haven't heard of it. It's not widely advertised online or anywhere in stores, but it's been around for a long time. And this is from Brooks Tactical Systems. It's called the AGRIP. Okay, just the letter A grip, just like you see here, and it looks like it's felt, okay, or like a velvet material. And what it is obviously it's an applied aftermarket grip that's custom to your firearm. Okay, and they make a ton of different models for different model guns, and they're all custom cut just like your Talon grips and things like that, except these are not rubber, they're not sandpaper. They feel, it's a weird, it's hard to explain, but they feel almost like a felt feeling, and they look like felt, but they're definitely not felt or anything like that. I don't know what it is. They're pretty guarded on the actual material of what it is, but it's applied just like your Talon grip. Okay, they send you some rubbing alcohol, you clean it up, and then you're gonna peel it off and go through and wrap the grip on over top of your standard grip. If you can see, and I'm trying to show you here with the right lighting angle, but you can actually see how thin this is. You can see the grooves in the stippling. I'm trying to show you here, and that's because this thing is very thin. Okay, and I was like, wow, you know, this product, I can't believe how thin this product is. It's probably gonna wear through in no time. But the thing is super durable. When I was putting it on, it actually wraps up around the magwell. Okay, you can kind of see right here, it wraps around the magwell, and I was trying to trim it. I wanted to trim it to make sure that it didn't wrap in too far, and you know, kind of make it more difficult for the magazine to fit in there. And as I was trying to cut it, I found it was very difficult to cut. I was using a really sharp X-Acto knife, and I had to kind of keep the material taut, so I could cut through with the X-Acto knife, kind of sawing it. It just showed how tight it was, where some of the other grips that I've used, like the rubberized ones from other companies and things like that, I could just take my X-Acto knife, cut it, and it'd go right through and I could peel it. This is not like that whatsoever, so it's very, very durable, and you know, it's kind of like suede, where one, you know, if it's gone, all the grain has gone one way, you can take kind of a small brush or something like that and kind of scuff it up, and it looks brand new again. So really cool. How does it feel in your hand? It feels awesome. It feels like nothing else that I've had on a firearm. You know, you're used to either polymer grips, you might have, you know, your aftermarket G10 grip panels that you put on there that are, you know, might be a little aggressive or something like that on your hand. So you're always used to kind of feeling something tactile or grippy on your hand, right? Even the rubberized Talon grips are a little bit rubbery. You might have the Talon grips that are, you know, more like a grip tape material or sandpapery material, and you're used to that. But this is just weird. It's like it's so different to have something soft. It feels soft in your hand. I was worried that, you know, how is it going to feel shooting it with this on here, being that, you know, it's going to be slick or smooth because it's like felt. It's not. It really does grab into your hand really nicely. It stays put. Even, you know, shooting 40 with a smaller grip surface, you know, it doesn't slide out. I was really surprised. I was really surprised at how good it felt and how good it stayed in my hand. So just to show you real quick, like I said, it goes all the way up around the magazine well. And if you're worried about, you know, the magazine not fitting in there, it goes in and out just the same as if the AGRIP wasn't there. Okay, it doesn't bind up, it doesn't hold the magazine in there or anything like that. Now you see that it covers the magazine release button, right? And And so, you know, for me, I'm really kind of like, I don't like to test a lot of weird stuff, or I kind of like to keep my gun stock and everything like that as much as I can, and not mess around with it too much. However, so when I looked at it, and I was like, wow, this thing covers a magazine release. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or something. I was thinking about, well, why don't I cut out a hole around the magazine release so I can hit it, because I don't want this thing, you know, this grip to cause it to, you know, release the magazine prematurely, or bind up, or maybe on this side where, you know, where this comes out, when you see how, let me see if you can see it right here. When I press the magazine release, let me angle this, you can see when I press the magazine release on the other side is popping up, and I'm like, well, I don't want that to prohibit or, you know, bind up on the magazine. But then I said, well, they sent me this, and I'm going to test it out the way it's designed. You know, I don't want to modify it before I even test it out. So I put it on my gun. I said, I'm going to go to the range. I'm going to try. I'm going to do magazine drills, change out the magazine. I'm going to, you know, dry fire, do some magazine changes and everything. And I was totally shocked that, you know, it didn't do any of the negative things that I thought it would. It didn't prohibit, you know, the magazine button from pushing in. It didn't keep it in, anything like that. It wasn't harder to, like, you know, find the magazine release button, you know, or index it when I was trying to do a quick magazine change. So I left it as is, and I said, hey, you know, it didn't do anything that anything poorly that I thought it was going to. So I said, you know, obviously they're onto something, and why, you know, don't cut a hole if I don't have to. And obviously I didn't have to. It worked just fine. So really cool design as far as the way it works. A couple things, you know, shocked me at first, like the magazine release button being covered. But like I said, I went through there and tested it and made sure that wasn't going to be a problem whatsoever, and it wasn't. Right here, if you see right around where the slide stop lever is, I have the standard slide stop, but and you see how it comes down a little bit. It is my slide stop is pretty flush against the frame of the gun. Okay, so it does push down on the right here. You know, the grip does go down just slightly, but it doesn't prohibit this slide stop from working, from releasing, from going up, or anything like that. So no problems there as well. Now, one of the big things about this grip, if you see right here, and I'll show you this, works even better with sweaty hands. Okay, and I was like, well, how the heck is that going to work? You know, how is that going to work? If you work in a very hot climate, right, your hands are going to get sweaty. It's just a fact of life. If you're working and, you know, you get into a fight and you're cut, or the threat is cut and there's blood, your hands are going to be slicker, wet, you know, with blood. You might be fighting in, you know, your hands get wet in a puddle or something on the ground. So I was thinking, okay, if there's something that can actually add grip as your hands kind of lose grip, what an awesome product, right? So what I did was, I was out at the range teaching a class, and it was super hot. I mean, it was really hot, close to 100 degrees. We were out there on the range, no shade, and this thing was concealed against my body. So I was sweating, this thing was hot, and I wanted to see if, number one, it lived up to the claim where it would work even better with sweaty hands, and also I wanted to see if that extreme heat would cause the grip to, you know, the adhesive to loosen up and allow it to shift. You know, sometimes when you stick something on something and then it gets really hot, then you can kind of move it around because the adhesive gets so loose from the heat. This did not have that problem as far as shifting from the heat. It was a really good test because it was up against my body, really hot, and I know this gun was really hot just from being against my body all day and out in the sun. And I purposely try to grab this grip and move it around in the heat, and it stayed put. So that was a really good test for me to say, hey, I don't have to worry about this shifting. Now, As far as it working better when wet, what I did was, when I was out there, like I said, I was sweating a lot, right? I had sweat dripping off my forehead and everything like that. I grabbed a whole bunch of sweat off my hands. I grabbed my gun and just started doing some rapid fire drills, magazine changes and things like that. And I found that even with my hands completely sweaty, it did not adversely affect my grip. I can't tell you that it made it better, right? Because I didn't have like a gauge that I could say, you know, I had 4 pounds of grip here and 3 pounds of grip here. I couldn't tell you that, but I can tell you that with other grips, inherently, especially, you know, your polymer grips or some of the rubberized grips, your hands, when they get wet, those rubbery grips or the polymer grips do lose friction. You do lose some grip. On this, I did not lose grip, which was really remarkable. And what I wanted to show you is, here's a cup of water. I wanted to show you how this works with the water. So I'm going to put water straight on the grip. Okay, most of it beads off, okay, but I'm going to rub it in there, and I'm going to show you even on both sides. Okay, I'm putting a lot of water on here. Okay, if you're sweating this much, you probably have some sort of medical condition. But okay, so let's say your firearm falls in a puddle of water, you have to grab it. I'm telling you right now, when I'm gripping this gun, this grip does not feel any looser. It's secure in my hand, and I just dumped, you know, you saw quite a bit of water. The grip holds up, it holds in your hand very well, and I'm blown away at, you know, how well the grip holds up, and I'm kind of amazed that more people don't know about this grip, or not using it, or haven't tried it out. I guess it's because it's not really marketed that well, but or that much. But it's made in the USA. Really, you know, you can find it in a bunch of different companies, but the thing is it's not super cheap. It's not really expensive, but the price point's a little higher than some of the other ones. So maybe that's why, you know, people will say, I don't want to take the risk on something that I don't really know about. But if you can get it for with free shipping, I got it from Pistol Grips Plus for free shipping. So if you can get it with free shipping, you know, it cuts down on some of that cost, and it puts it more in line with some of the other applied grips. But you know, like I said, you saw I just dumped a bunch of water. This thing, it feels like it's almost dry.